Commissioners General Session. Today is June 1st, 2021. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Dawn Tyler Lee.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
United States of
America, and to the republic
for
for
which it stands,
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and
and
justice
justice for all.
All right, as a reminder, this is a public meeting and is being recorded. We kindly ask that you maintain the same level of decorum as if we were meeting in person. Finally, for those calling in, please ensure that you have muted your phone line by pressing *6. Thank you for your cooperation. Let's begin with is there a motion to approve the minutes of May 21st, 2021 special session, the May 25th, 2021 general session, the May 27th, 2021 briefing session with attachments, and the May 24th and 26th, 2021 administrative briefings?
Move approval of the minutes as stated.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioners. The minutes have been approved.
Right, the engineer is up first, and I just want, before we get the engineer, I want to make sure that someone's reaching out to Commissioner O'Grady.
Commissioner, I just got a message from him. He says he's joining now.
Okay, great. Engineer, first, I need a motion to remove the resolution from the table.
I move that resolution number 383-21 be removed from the table.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
The motion has been approved. The resolution is up for consideration. With that, resolution number 383-21, resolution regarding the annual progress report relating to the Franklin County Engineers Anti-Racism and Equity Program supporting the Franklin County Board of Commissioners declaration of racism as a public health crisis.
Good morning, Commissioners, administration, and constituents. My name is Cornell Robertson, County Engineer for everyone in Franklin County. Commissioners, the mission of the Franklin County Engineer's Office is to provide for safe and efficient movement of people and goods from place to place by designing, building, and maintaining Franklin County's roads, bridges, and infrastructure for multiple modes of transportation. We are an agency of action, innovation, and collaboration. On November 21st of 2018, a group of teammates from multiple departments of varied backgrounds and ages and I developed the vision statement for our office. It includes a paragraph on diversity and inclusion, which states, the Franklin County Engineer's Office is focused on offering a diverse and inclusive work environment where all employees are supported and have the opportunity to share ideas, to grow, and to succeed. We develop future leaders by providing training and education opportunities. Our team understands the importance of and is committed to utilizing small and disadvantaged business enterprises through procurement and professional services. We actively pursue public engagement and outreach to underserved populations of Franklin County. On July 8th of 2019, I hired Simone Burley as our Diversity and Inclusion Coordinator, which I feel was one of my best decisions since being elected Franklin County Engineer. Simone's knowledge, personality, and positive energy have helped us internally and externally, even beyond what I had anticipated. I and our team appreciate Simone very much. Commissioners, following your leadership on June 30th of 2020, I presented a resolution in support of your declaration of racism as a public health crisis. Simone and I also launched the Franklin County Engineers Anti-Racism and Equity Program. Though my office teammates and I focus mainly on roads, bridges, and infrastructure, it is our way to take positive, meaningful, and measurable action with a commitment to report our progress to you on an annual basis on the pillars of our workforce, procurement, and community outreach. This annual report is not only a tool of communication, but is also a method of holding ourselves accountable. At this time, I would like to turn the floor over to Diversity and Inclusion Coordinator Simone Burley to provide additional details and information. After Simone, we have two guest speakers who have brief remarks to share as well. Simone?
Ms. Burley, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. Simone, can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I was muted and I was not able to unmute. Thank you. Again, good morning, commissioners, and thank you. And welcome to the Franklin County family, Commissioner Tyler Lee. Thank you for providing us the opportunity to provide our annual update on the progress of the Franklin County Engineers Anti-Racism and Equity Program. The Franklin County Engineers Anti-Racism and Equity Program, also known as the FCE-AEP, contains 3 pillars, which align with the pillars within the Franklin County Engineers Office Diversity and Inclusion Department. In addition, the 3 primary programs within the D&I department align with the 3 pillars of the department and the FCE-AEP. The Employee Investment Program is associated with the Workforce Pillar. The Franklin County Engineers Equitable Business Enterprise Program is affiliated with the Vendors, Suppliers, Consultants, and Contractors Pillar. And the Franklin County Engineers Anti-Racism and Equity Program is aligned with Community Outreach and the Public Engagement Pillar. The first pillar I will talk about is the workforce team. The Employee Investment Program is within that pillar, and it was adopted August 3rd of 2020. It supports the mission of the Franklin County Engineers Office by promoting the development of our employees through mentorships, training, and employee engagement opportunities, so that we may continue to provide excellent and outstanding service to the residents of Franklin County. Now, within the Employee Investment Program, which we also refer to as the EIP, there is a mentor-mentee component, a lunch and learn component, and the Bridge the Gap Committee. Those have been very well received and are an ongoing projects within the Employee Investment Program. The Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion training is also contained within this pillar of the workforce. And in 2020, we conducted D&I training for all of our FCEO employees. It was completed in the fall, and the theme for 2020 was implicit bias. Courtney Kerrigan facilitated those trainings. She will be facilitating our training for 2021 as well. And the theme for 2021 is cultural competency. Also, we have a weekly staff meeting, and at the weekly staff meeting, we have introduced a D&I component, and I present topics every week in the area of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And FCEO teammates have been very responsive to this, and they have actually started recommending topics for me to introduce throughout the year. Some of these topics that we have discussed are Director Jack Marchbanks of ODOT, the JT Ward, EE Ward Moving and Storage Company, which is located in Grove City, inaugural poet Amanda Gordon, and the impact I-70 has had on the African American community on and around Mount Vernon Avenue. We have expanded our outreach on diversifying our recruitment. We have reached out to the National Society of Black Engineers, also known as NSBE, both on the national level and at Ohio State. We have also partnered with COMTO, which stands for the Conference of Minority Transportation Officials. We advertise in the Minority Communicator and also the Columbus and Dayton African American News Journal. We send our job listings out to our listening partners. We have 11 listening partners that we report to quarterly. And we make sure that they get a copy of our job posting as well as other industry diversity experts. And we have also established a relationship with Columbus Building Trades Council, the Building Futures Program, which is headed by Leland Bass. And we have met with Ms. Nana Watson, who is the president of the NAACP. Now here we have a graph of our demographics from 2017 to 2021, and using the African American category as a reference point, you'll notice that there has been an increase in our employee demographics since 2017. And you'll also notice that from 2019 to 2021, even in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, there was an increase. As the D&I department continues to grow at FCEO, we currently have George Perkins Anene, who's working with as an intern with us, and he was referred to our office by Ginger Cunningham, who is one of our listening partners. George graduated from the Ohio State University in May of this year, and he is doing such a great job that he's been offered a full-time position as the Diversity and Inclusion Assistant, and he will begin his new role on June 14th. Now we will move on to our vendors, suppliers, consultants, and contractors pillar. And within this pillar, we have the Franklin County Engineers Equitable Business Enterprise Program for locally funded projects. Engineer Robertson established the Franklin County Engineers Equitable Business Program, which is referred to as the FCE-EBE, on May 4th of 2020. The objective of this program is for disadvantaged businesses to have an equal opportunity to receive and participate in FCEO administered contracts and procurement activities, and to promote the use of disadvantaged businesses in all types of contracts and procurement activities conducted by FCEO. To date, the engineer's office has set goals on 11 locally funded capital improvement projects. And in 2020, a couple of those goals were the 2020 resurfacing project, which contained a 6% EBE goal, and the Marin Road Drainage Improvement Project, which also contained a 6% EBE goal. We have current construction projects ongoing for 2021 that have goals set. A couple of those goals include the Refugee Road Big Walnut Creek project. We have a 12% EBE goal on that project, and the Olentangy River Road Drainage Improvement Project, which has a 10% goal. We have upcoming goals, projects that have been bid out but not started yet. A couple of those include Eureka Valley, Valley View Drive, Highland Avenue, and Harper Avenue, which has a 6% goal assigned to that, and the 2021 Franklin County Resurfacing Project, which has a 6% goal assigned to that. And then we will be assigning goals to projects that have not bid as well. The program has since been updated to include a 10% minimum EBE requirement on all consultant contracts with FCEO. And our current 2021 design projects with EBE goals are Frank Road at Hardy Parkway Street, Brown Road, Frank Road at Early Run, and drainage improvement study on Hot Ditch. We also have established EBE tracking. So in 2020, FCEO completed its 12-month EBE tracking of equitable business enterprise participation, and we have spent 7.01% with EBE businesses in 2020. And this is used as a baseline, and all employees have been and will continue to be encouraged to improve this number moving forward. As of May 1st, 2021, we have spent 11% with disadvantaged businesses agency-wide. We have also developed a database for minority-owned businesses, and we will use this database to engage disadvantaged businesses, to advise them of opportunities with our office, to set up workshops, matchmaker events, etc. We also have certification workshops that we conducted in 2020. We had 4 scheduled. We were able to conduct 2 of those, and the other 2 were canceled due to the pandemic, and we will be rescheduling those at a later date. We also have meet and greets that we've set up, quite a bit of those. A couple of those include Weatherspoon and Williams LLC, and as a result of that meet and greet, Weatherspoon and Williams was able to connect with a prime contractor in the area, and they are actually an EBE on our Refugee Road Bridge project. We have met with Moody Engineering, Smoot Construction, Watkins Printing, just to name a few. And a couple of EBE companies have actually received procurement opportunities with our office. They won the bid. The Dove Building Services won the cleaning contract, and Quick Stitch Plus won the uniform contract. And Michelle Uber, who is the owner of Quick Stitch Plus, I actually met her at a matchmaking event. So that resulted in opportunities with our office. And we also advertised in the Ohio MBE minority-owned publication. We have a kind of like a postcard that advertises all of our projects for 2021. And we also send over notice to contractors as the projects come available for bid. And those are advertised in the newspaper as well. The next pillar, and final pillar, is the community outreach and public engagement pillar. And within this pillar, we have roundabouts, and that's what we kind of phrase them. And area commission presentations are contained in this roundabout pillar. And Engineer Robertson has initiated a series of roundabouts to visit the City of Columbus area commissions and several community organizations. As a result of this participation, we have had a lot of interaction with the area commissions. Engineer Robertson tells the story of our office. He discusses the services we offer, and talks about how we can be of assistance in the communities. Out of the 21 area commissions, we have presented at 13 so far, and also at the Northland Community Council, which is a community organization. Regarding educational outreach, we have partnered with Eastmore Academy and Compto Columbus to host a workshop called the Listen Series, which stands for Lead, Inspire, Share, Teach, Empower, and Network. That is a career readiness workshop, and that is an ongoing situation. We have continued to engage with Ohio Avenue Elementary with our Adopt a School program. We have continued to work with Crystal Ray High School with their work study program. We have an ongoing commitment with Compto Columbus, and we participate on the scholarship committee. We have engaged Daniela Hicks, the CEO of an incredible teen mentoring program called All That, stands for Teens Hopeful About Tomorrow. And regarding our small government infrastructure improvement funding, That included the village of Urban Crest and the village of Harrisburg in the Franklin County Resurfacing Program. And the cost estimates were $265,695.50 for the village of Urban Crest and $334,169.55 for the village of Harrisburg. We also utilized interpreting in translation services. We utilized assist translation and interpreting services to communicate with our non-English speaking residents during our Agler Road project. And we utilized Purple Communications for interpretation services to assist a hearing impaired resident during our Ferris Road and Walford Street improvement project. And also, we've had some awards presentations and recognition. We were awarded ODOT's 2021 Ohio Civil Rights Transportation Symposium Local Public Agency of the Year Award. Engineer Robertson was also nominated for the Director's Award for D&I Advocacy. We participated in the next conference hosted by the Franklin County Board of Commissioners last year. This year, we were involved with the Constructions Partners Networking for Growth Conference hosted by the Columbus Urban League Minority Business Assistance Centers. And we have been in contact with SWACO and Franklin County Adult Probation regarding our Franklin County Engineers Anti-Racism and Equity Program. They had questions about how we went about setting it up and possibly maybe doing something similar at their agencies. That concludes my portion of the report, but on a personal note, I want to say that as a diversity and inclusion coordinator, it is imperative that you have the support of the leadership in order to be successful. And I want to sincerely thank Engineer Robertson. He is unwavering in his support for diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. And I really appreciate his commitment to the D&I process, and also to Fritz Crozier, who is my supervisor. He's always there when I need him, and he's always willing to help. So thank you for the opportunity to share this program with you, and I will now turn it over to Engineer Robertson for final remarks.
All right, thank you, Simone, very much. And Dean, we do have a couple guest speakers, if it would be okay to allow them to have the floor for just a few moments, if that's okay.
Mr. Engineer, I do have two speaking requests from a Ginger Cunningham and I apologize, Mr. Bakari, if I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. I would kindly ask our guests to please limit their comments to the agenda item, and if you could, please limit your comments to at least no more than 3 minutes. We would appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Clerk, are those two speakers in addition to the ones that the engineer is requesting time for?
No, they had submitted official.
Got it.
So.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So Ms. Cunningham, I received yours first. So with your permission, if you could introduce yourself to the board.
Yes, my name is Ginger Cunningham, and I'm the CEO of Ginger Cunningham and Associates, which is a consulting company doing diversity, inclusion, business development, et cetera, within the Columbus, Cleveland, and Fort Lauderdale area. As a listening partner and attending the quarterly meetings, I find the meetings are very informative. The agency updates us on their activity and identifies ways in which they work to improve racism through diversity, equity, and inclusion. I continue to be impressed with the reports, the agency's willingness to keep us informed and involving us in their discussion as to the resolutions. I also helped establish the meet and greet between SMOO Construction, the agency, Joe Lombardi, Director of Finance and Management for the City of Columbus. The agency welcomed the exchange of the information and the importance of the newfound relationship on the local level. I am really excited about being a part of the agency and helping them work with the issues within house. And I also understand this, and I'm very impressed with this. The agency not only talks the talk, but is walking the walk. And therefore, I'm impressed with them, and I'll do whatever I can to help support them in dealing with diversity, equity, and inclusion. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. Mr. Bakari, am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
That is correct. Thank you so much. Good morning. My name is Taj Bakari from CT Consultants. We are a design engineering firm in the state of Ohio with 11 offices. I'm so happy to be talking on behalf of Franklin County Engineers Office. Due to what I experienced hands-on with the Franklin County Engineers Anti-Racism and Equity Program, I personally recommended Franklin County Engineers Colonel Robertson and his department for the Excellence in Diversity and Inclusion in Business Award for Ohio Department of Transportation and the American Council of Engineers Company Civil Rights Symposium that they give annually. And this year they won that award. I have observed that Engineer Robertson and his team has done a lot of in the diversity and inclusion area since he became the county engineer. So I was glad to be participating in as a listening partner to their anti-racism and equity program. Thanks, Cornell. Thanks, Simone. Thanks, Fritz, and thanks to Brent of this team. When I learned that the engineer's office has adopted the entire school of Ohio Avenue Elementary, I was very impressed that they adopted not just a classroom, but the entire school. Since then, I run, as you know, apart from what I do as an engineer, I run a community unity organization in the city of Delaware here that I am the STEM advisor. Since I run the after-school program, I was intrigued with the Franklin County Engineers Project and wanted to learn more about it. So I was so glad to be as a member of the listening partner. As time progressed, I noticed that Engineer Robertson was conducting various outreach events in the diversity and inclusion area. He was visiting Columbus City area commissions meetings to introduce himself and educate the residents about the agency. He was holding workshops for minority businesses, and the office was conducting diversity and inclusion training for its employees. After observing how the engineer's office promotes and supports diversity and inclusion, I met with top executives in my organization at CT Consultants to express the desire for us to do more in the diversity realm. I did not think we were doing enough given what I was seeing from Engineer Robertson and his office. The executives were supportive, and I was charged with starting a diversity and inclusion committee at CT Consultants. Understanding that raising awareness around the topic of diversity and creating an inclusive environment in a major undertaking, I had numerous discussions with the Franklin County Engineers Office regarding the subject. They invited me to attend one of their workforce diversity training sessions at no cost to my organization. Again, at no cost to our organization. I invited a colleague of mine to join me. And the
Mr.
training
Bakari,
was,
sorry, I apologize. If you could please wrap it up, I'd appreciate it. I apologize for cutting you off, sir.
I got you. So I felt comfortable in developing a framework for our organization to move forward with the diversity and inclusion initiative. I owe Engineer Robertson and his agency a big thank you for allowing me and my colleague to participate in the training. Thank you so much.
Engineer Robinson, did you want to bring it home here?
That concludes our presentation. I really appreciate your all's patience. It's a little longer presentation than we normally have for any of our resolutions. That's a reflection of how important this program is to us, and happy to continue discussion or answer any questions that you all may have. Thank you.
The only thing I'll add is that, one, let me just thank Engineer Robinson and Ms. Burley and your entire team for taking this conversation so seriously. We really have in this country right now an opportunity to start a new chapter and to begin a different approach to live up to the greatness that our country's potential, the greatness that this country's potential shows at all times. And this is a part of that. And it starts with each of us doing our own part in the agencies that we control, direct, or influence. And so we appreciate your work. I know you and I have had a number of one-on-one conversations about this work since you took office. And I feel you have been as responsive to my own questions and to those of the community's questions as I've ever seen anyone. So let me just begin by recognizing and thanking your team for that. And we want to encourage you to continue the communication as we go forward. So congratulations, job well done. Anybody else want to add anything?
Just one question, I'm sorry, Commissioner Green.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just one question. I echo President Boyce's thanks for your commitment to this important work. I thought I read that we had a partnership with HBCUs. Is that accurate? And if so, what does that engagement look like?
I would ask Simone, if you're still on the line, is that something that you are familiar with?
Yes, Commissioner Tyler Lee, we are continuing to engage HBCUs by sending them job postings of opportunities with our office. And we hope to do maybe more in-person job fairs, as we start opening back up. But during the pandemic, of course, that was not possible. So just getting them the information about our jobs, primarily through Handshake, has been the extent of our outreach thus far, but we hope to improve that going forward.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Engineer Robertson, Simone, fantastic work. Just wanted to acknowledge, when a lot of times in the work that we all do, just providing leadership and leading by example is oftentimes the best thing that you can do. And this work that you guys have done is certainly that, leading by example, and whether that's leading and showing the way for other county agencies in Franklin County or outside of Franklin County. And so this work that you've done, other engineers' offices throughout the state of Ohio, your colleagues, that you can show this as an example to the County Engineers Association, and let them know what you've done here, and so that some of them may feel compelled to follow suit. The same thing with our colleagues in Franklin County, some of whom have, and we just, and as county commissioners, we're always trying to do the best thing that we possibly can throughout county government and lead by example, both within Franklin County, outside of Franklin County, through the state of Ohio, and frankly, throughout the country, trying to do everything that we possibly can to show our colleagues around the state and around the United States that we're very serious about what we do collectively in Franklin County, not only in this space, but in others. And this is important work. And so the fact that you guys have been willing to lead on this within the engineer's office speaks volumes. And so hopefully others will take notice and follow your lead.
Before there's a motion for action, I wanted to give, I think Administrator Wilson wanted to make a couple comments.
Thank you, President Boyce. I just want to make a very brief comment here. I was thinking the same thing Commissioner O'Grady said, that this could stand out as a national best practice for county engineers, and it definitely should be shared through the County Administrators Association as well as NACO, because one doesn't necessarily think of the engineer's office adopting things such as racism as a public health crisis and following the commissioner's lead of making racial equity a core principle of the board. So I just want to commend this effort and this work, and others will follow. I also think that the work is so important that this should be an integral piece of your 2022 budget presentation and point to the aspirational goals that will be a part of projects upcoming and how your budget reflects these priorities. But great work.
Good point.
I agree.
Is there a motion for the resolution?
I move approval of Resolution 383-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 383-21 has been adopted.
You can continue, Mr. Engineer, through your both the drainage engineer and engineering sections.
Thank you, Commissioner. Resolution number 408-21. Resolution authorizing supplemental appropriations for the Stormwater Management Program.
Commissioners, as stated, this resolution authorizes supplemental appropriations for the Stormwater Management Program administered by the Franklin County Drainage Engineer. Under our jurisdiction, we have 94 miles of open channels and 147 miles of tile ditches. Many of those tiles were built over 100 years ago with pipes designed to last 50 years. With support from the Board of Commissioners, our stormwater management program has become more proactive and less reactive, which is being noticed and appreciated by our constituents and farming community. The American Rescue Plan of 2021 authorized additional relief to address the continued impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. This act gives the ability to use the funds to support vital underground infrastructure like wastewater and stormwater through the Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund. Today's resolution authorizes supplemental appropriations in the amount of $1.11 million, $110,000 of which will be paid by the City of Hilliard for a collaborative project that we have with them. These appropriations will allow for additional drainage improvements in 2021 of Hamilton Ditch, drainage along Jones Road, removal of the log jam in Big Run, 2 sections of McCoy Ditch north of Broad Street, and a section of Morris Ditch. I'm happy that the ARP can be used for underground infrastructure. Appreciate your support and respectfully request approval of this resolution.
Seeing no comments or questions, I move approval of resolution number 408-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 408-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 409-21, resolution awarding contract and approving contract bond to the Shelley Company for the 2021 Franklin County Resurfacing Program in the amount of $2,997,635.61.
Yes, this resolution is a construction contract award with the Shelley Company for our annual resurfacing program for various county roads. This is separate from the annual township resurfacing program that we are currently assembling and will bring to you in the near future. This year's county program includes 18.4 miles of resurfacing on 16 Franklin County roads. We held a competitive bid opening on May 6th of 2021. received 3 bids, and the Shelley Company had the lowest and best bid. The Franklin County Engineers Equitable Business Enterprise Program has been implemented. The EBE goal is 6%, and the Shelley Company has listed Buds Inc. and Traffic Detectors and Signs as their EBE subcontractors. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
I move approval of resolution 40921.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 40921 has been adopted. Resolution number 41021, resolution awarding contract and approving contract bond to Driven Excavating for the Ormond Avenue Drainage Improvement, Part 2, in the amount of $398,865.
This resolution is also a construction contract award. This one with Driven Excavating for a drainage improvement and pedestrian facilities project in the northeast part of the county in Clinton Township along Ormond Avenue west of Cleveland Avenue. This is a collaborative project with funding from Franklin County, Clinton Township, and the Ohio Public Works Commission. We held a competitive bid opening on May 4th of 2021, received 5 bids, and Driven Excavating had the lowest and best bid. The Franklin County Engineers Equitable Business Enterprise Program has been implemented. The EBE goal is 5%, and Driven Excavating has listed Garcia Surveyors and Bakari Enterprises as their EBE subcontractors. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
Move approval of resolution 41021.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 41021 has been adopted. Resolution number 41121, resolution authorizing the Franklin County Engineer to enter into a contract modification with J&J Schlegel Incorporated for the 2020-2021 general drainage maintenance, an increase of $472,366 for a revised contract amount of $1,422,222.
Commissioners, as stated, this resolution is for a construction contract modification with J&J Schlegel for the general drainage maintenance and repair program. J&J Schlegel has been asked to provide additional drainage improvements for the Franklin County Drainage Engineer and the City of Hilliard, as mentioned in the previous resolution today, and to proactively utilize ARP funding for stormwater infrastructure improvements. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
I move approval of resolution.
Wait 1 second before we move forward. So what do you mean proactively use ARP funds? What does that mean?
Well, we have, that's a reference to our stormwater management program that we have made great strides in becoming proactive as opposed to reactive in regards to stormwater management.
But I guess what I mean is the reference with regards to ARP funds. The funds haven't been allocated yet to any specific programming, so I'm confused as to that reference. Am I missing something?
Well, my understanding is that the ARP can be used for underground infrastructure. So pipes, not potholes, is the way I easily remember it. And we've been working very closely with Administrator Wilson and Zach, and we've identified ways that we can utilize this funding for the stormwater program. I think it's going to be an excellent use of that funding because we have so many drainage challenges in Franklin County that we're just trying to have everything in place that will allow us to put this money to use right away.
Right, sure. I guess let me ask this another way and direct it maybe to Administrator Wilson. We have not allocated any of the ARP funds as of yet, anything specific. Maybe I'm out of the loop, but if my understanding, we are waiting on I know each commissioner has kind of spoken up about their priorities, but we haven't had we don't have anything allocated to that infrastructure yet, do we?
President Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady, Commissioner Tyler Lee, the prior 40821 as a part of that supplemental appropriation for the stormwater management program, that resolution includes a supplemental that would allow for up to $1 million of ARP funding to be allocated.
Yeah, I don't mind the money being used that, but I want to get my hands around our ARP budgeting overall. So we don't have to have this conversation now, but let's talk about it just so we can reconcile. I don't know that I want to do this in a piecemeal approach versus a plan. I mean, we don't have to allocate all of the money at once, but also I do think there should be some finished blueprint, if you will, of how we're going to do this. So I just want we can do this offline
Yeah.
and just connect the
Yeah.
dots.
Yes, correct.
I think Commissioner Grady, were you going to say
I
something?
want to say, Administrator Wilson, I hear where Commissioner Boyce is going with this, and I agree. I guess my question would be, is this assuming that there is language in the ARP bill that indicates that some of these dollars should be or need to be, or maybe just can be expended on stormwater and drainage issues?
Yes, OMB Director Zach Taleric has studied the guidance and brought forward the recommendation that this was an approved use.
Okay, well, as a part of the conversation that Commissioner Boyce is talking about as we move forward, I know that, and I agree with Commissioner Boyce, we've all indicated, some of our thoughts on this stuff as we move forward. We should, definitely, have a larger conversation about all of that. And I'd like to hear more about it. That's
Agreed. We're gonna, just like with the first, under the CARES Act, it is the intention of county administration and OMB to have a full comprehensive plan that speaks to the first tranche of dollars received under the American Recovery Rescue Plan. Such as last week, we had the $4.5 million for summer youth employment and engagement as it relates to the JAM program in Job and Family Services. But many of the projects, both short and long-term projects, commissioners, we have been meeting, and we're gonna present to you all a plan to allocate material amount of that funding, as we've been discussing.
so 408 simply, 40821 simply allows for us to, at some point, expend those dollars once that happens. It doesn't expend any dollars this morning, correct? And what about, go ahead.
It provides the authority to spend up to that amount.
Yeah, and then what about 411, the one we're getting ready to vote on? It doesn't specifically speak to ARP dollars because we don't have them yet.
We have the ARP dollars in hand.
Are we expending those in 411?
Commissioner O'Grady, this is Zach Flair for the Office of Management and Budget.
Good
So
morning,
this
Zach.
resolution would authorize the expenditure out of the Stormwater Fund in 411. 408 would give us the authority to use the American Rescue Plan to reimburse the Stormwater Fund at the point that that plan comes into effect for the allocation of the full amount.
Okay.
Yeah, see, and I just said, I don't have a problem with the authority. I just think that, and I don't even necessarily have an issue with the funds being used for this purpose. But I think we, and I don't want to speak for Commissioner O'Grady or Commissioner Don Tyler Lee, but from my standpoint, I want to see the full sort of plan before we start, spending dollars, and, because that'll allow us to zero in on priorities as relates to the big picture. If we start nickel and diming ourselves to death together with the use of the funds, I think that's a less organized approach. And like I said, I do have a sense of, I've talked to Commissioner O'Grady, I've heard from you, Administrator Wilson, about other priorities of the committee. So I feel like we're on the same page, but there still needs to be a sort of hymnal that we're all singing out of that sort of aligns with the bigger picture. And I just feel like before we start nickel and diming ourselves here, we need to have that.
President Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady, Commissioner Tyler Lee, yeah, we need to write, because there's been a few other projects that you all have signed off on. So we do need to roll out our whole intentions as it relates to the American Rescue Plan, and we can do that relatively soon.
Great.
Or we bring those forward. Because the same goes for emergency rental assistance. We've been prepared, Deputy Administrator Janice and Deputy Administrator Bibb has been working on some of those components. So I think we're in a position to be able to discuss with you all the whole entire plan, including expenditures as well as recommendations around recapturing delayed or lost revenues.
Great.
Are we comfortable moving this resolution forward?
Yeah,
Yes,
I am, sorry.
I am too.
I move approval of resolution 41121.
Second,
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 41121 has been adopted. Resolution number 41221, resolution authorizing a contract with Hall's Construction Materials Testing Incorporated to provide consulting services in the amount of $50,000.
This resolution is a professional services contract with Hall's Construction Materials Testing to provide testing services for the previously mentioned annual resurfacing programs at the asphalt plants and on-site to ensure specifications are met. Hall's is a certified woman-owned business. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I move approval of resolution 41221.
Second,
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 41221 has been adopted. Resolution number 41321, authorization for the Franklin County Engineer to enter into an agreement with Midwest and Bluegrass Rail, its subsidiaries, lessees, and various agencies regarding the improvement on Eureka Avenue, Valley View Drive, Highland Avenue, and Harper Road.
This capital improvement project is in the central part of the county in Franklin Township, along Eureka Avenue, Valley View Drive, Highland Avenue, and Harper Road. This is a collaboration among Franklin County, Columbus Recreation and Parks Department, and Midwest and Bluegrass Railroad to improve drainage along these routes and to widen the shoulders for pedestrians and bicyclists, completing a gap in the Ohio to Erie Trail. This resolution is the cooperative agreement with Midwest and Bluegrass Rail to upgrade and widen the railroad crossing on Eureka Avenue for the bike and pedestrian facilities. I request your approval of this resolution.
There are no questions or comments. I move approval of resolution 41321.
Second,
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 41321 has been adopted.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Sheriff.
Resolution number 41421, resolution authorizing an agreement with Franklin County Job and Family Services for police protection at 3 office locations within Franklin County in the amount of $1,193,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Albert Smith, Assistant Finance Director for the Sheriff's Office. This agreement with Job and Family Services will authorize the continuance of protective services provided by 8 deputies at the 3 office locations within Franklin County. The term of the contract will be through December 31st of this year and will not exceed $1,193,000. Pending any questions, I request passage of this resolution.
If there are no questions or comments, I move approval of resolution number 41421.
Second,
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 41421 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next, Treasurer.
Resolution number 41521, resolution authorizing a contract with MAPSIF Incorporated to provide requested support and maintenance to the Franklin County Treasurer application in the amount of $95,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Elise Thomas, Budget and Purchasing Coordinator for the Treasurer's Office.
Dustin Fullhorse, IT Director.
We are requesting approval for the contract with MAPSIS in the amount of $95,000. This will be for another 6-month term, and this will be to ensure the functionality of our FACS, which is our Franklin County taxpayer system.
Elise, were you done speaking? Because it kind of sounded like you broke up.
Yes, I was finished. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you. If there are no questions or comments, I move approval of resolution number 41521.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 41521 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next, Law Library.
Resolution number 41621, resolution authorizing a memorandum of understanding with the statewide consortium of county law library resource boards for services provided by the Public Services Law Librarian.
Good morning, Commissioners. Angela Baldry, Director of the Law Library. This first resolution allows our Public Services Librarian, Jennifer Jones, to enter into an MOU with the statewide consortium of law libraries. She is the Executive Director of the consortium, and the hours that she does for the consortium are reimbursed to the library on a monthly basis.
If there aren't any questions or comments, I move approval of resolution 41621.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 41621 has been adopted. Resolution number 41721, resolution authorizing the law library to contract with the statewide consortium of county law library resource boards for services provided by the law librarian.
Thank you. So this is a similar MOU for myself. I currently serve as the Assistant Director of the consortium. And again, the library gets reimbursed the hours that I work for the consortium.
Thank you. If there are no questions or comments, I move approval of resolution number 417-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 41721 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Child Support Enforcement.
Resolution number 41821, resolution authorizing a non-general fund supplemental appropriation for the Building Evidence on Employment Strategies for Low-Income Families project.
Good morning, Commissioners. Susan Brown, Director, representing the Child Support Enforcement Agency. Resolution 020921 authorized Franklin County CSEA to enter into a contract and receive funding through the social research firm of MDRC. MDRC is providing technical assistance and evaluation services for the federal HHS Office of Planning, Research, and Evaluation study, Building Evidence on Employment Strategies for Low-Income Families project. Our research trial study locally is known as the Journey, A Parent's Voice. This random control trial is evaluating whether early intervention and intensive case management services for non-residential mothers and fathers, including parenting and employment services, will improve engagement of parents with their children and improve outcomes in the payment of child support. This resolution authorizes supplemental appropriations to the agency's 2021 budget in the Child Support Enforcement Fund in the amount of $362,250, which will allow for the implementation and service provision associated with this study. Pending any questions, I request approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I will move approval of resolution 41821.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Tyler Lee.
I abstain.
Resolution number 41821 has been adopted with Commissioner Tyler Lee's noted abstention.
Thank you.
Next, Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 41921, review of petition to annex 0.897 acres more or less from Washington Township to the City of Columbus, case number ANX-17-21.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jenny Snap, Assistant Director, Economic Development and Planning, joined this morning by Emily Hillier, Senior Program Coordinator at Economic Development and Planning. This resolution is to consider an expedited Type 1 annexation petition of 0.897 acres from Washington Township to the City of Columbus. The area to be annexed includes property located at 4987 Avery Road. That's west of Avery Road, south of Rings Road, east of Wilcox Road and Interstate 270, and north of Hayden Run Road. Petition was filed by agent and attorney Jackson B. Reynolds III of Smith & Hale, who is in attendance should you have any questions, on behalf of the property owners A&M Solution Provider LLC and Wahid Gul. 18.2% of the site's perimeter is contiguous with the City of Columbus, and the applicant has provided a copy of the annexation agreement between Washington Township and Columbus. The petition meets all statutory requirements outlined in section 709.022 of the Ohio Revised Code, and pending any questions, we request your approval.
If there are no questions or comments, I move approval of resolution number 41921.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 41921 has been adopted. Resolution number 42021, resolution authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Eric W. Ellis at 2846 Mill Race Drive, Columbus, Ohio, 43223.
Good morning, Commissioners. Emily Hillier, Senior Program Coordinator for Economic Development and Planning. This property owner received a home loan for $6,000 from Franklin County. The requirements of the loan have been satisfied. The property taxes are paid and current, and I would respectfully ask that the Commissioner sign this discharge of mortgage instrument on this property.
There are no questions or comments. I move approval of resolution 42021.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 42021 has been adopted. Resolution number 42121, resolution authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Jason Vance at 2106 Stelter Road, Mifflin Township, Ohio, 43219.
This property owner received a home loan for $1,240 from Franklin County. The requirements of the loan have been satisfied. The property taxes are paid and current, and I would respectfully ask that the Commissioner sign this discharge of mortgage instrument as well.
There are no questions or comments. I move approval of resolution number 42121.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 42121 has been adopted. Resolution number 42221, resolution authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Robin Thompson Bates at 2182 Mifflin Boulevard, Mifflin Township, Ohio, 43219.
Property owner received a home loan for $1,500 from Franklin County. The requirements of the housing loan have been satisfied. The property taxes are paid and current, and I would respectfully ask that the Commissioner sign this discharge of mortgage instrument as well.
Thank you. If there are no questions or comments, move approval of resolution number 422-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 42221 has been adopted. Resolution number 42321, resolution authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Sammy R. and Tina M. Johnson at 732 Tinkers Creek, Columbus, Ohio, 43207.
These property owners received a home loan for $2,800 from Franklin County. The requirements of the housing loan have been satisfied. The property taxes are paid and current, and I would respectfully ask that the Commissioner sign this discharge of mortgage instrument on this property.
Ms. Hillier, just one question before I put a motion forth. Is the home loan program still available for residents to access? And if so, how might they do that?
Yeah, if they're interested, they can go through Homeport for the down payment assistance program.
Great, thank you. I move approval of resolution number 42321.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 42321 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jobs and Family Services.
Resolution number 42421, resolution approving a contract extension for on-site case management services between the Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services and the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center in the amount of $180,065.52.
Good morning, Commissioners. Vivian Turner, Assistant Director. Per this extension contract, 2 case managers will provide on-site case management services at the Wexner Medical Center to provide timely assistance in determining patient eligibility, primarily for Medicaid, but also for our other agency programs. These case managers can remotely serve patients throughout the campus, including the James Cancer Center, as well as those treated at the University Hospital East. Under the terms of the extension, OSU will reimburse the agency for the actual full-time employee costs for the case managers, as well as a part of the cost for their supervisors and clerical support at an annual cost not to exceed $180,065.52. This is the first of 2 optional 12-month extensions permitted under the terms of the original contract agreement that you authorized last year. All other terms are unchanged. Pending any questions, I request your approval.
If there's no comments or questions, I'll move approval of resolution 42421.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Tyler Lee.
I abstain.
Resolution number 42421 has been adopted with Commissioner Tyler Lee's noted abstention. Resolution number 42521, resolution establishing a new Prevention, Retention, and Contingency, PRC, Emergency Rental Assistance Program in response to the current eviction crisis resulting from the COVID-19 public health emergency in the amount of $1,500,000.
Commissioners, Franklin County estimates that there are well over 1,000 evictions pending in municipal court. While the CDC eviction moratorium is set to expire in June, will surely exacerbate the eviction crises. With the $1.5 million in federal emergency rental assistance program funding allocated by the commissioners, we will establish the new PRC Emergency Rental Assistance Program to complement our existing programs. The PRC ERA program can cover rent as well as utility costs for eligible low-income families. It will also provide us with the flexibility to cover a cost of arrearages beyond those covered by the current TANF-funded PRC or the CARES Act funded PRC Plus programs, as well as the possible prospective assistance for up to 3 months for rent, and also permits us to cover utility costs. The program officially launches today and runs through December 21st of 2021 or until funding is exhausted. For residents, there will be no change. They will still be able to apply using our standard PRC application, and they can access that as well as the step-by-step instructions by visiting our website at jfs.franklincountyohio.gov/PRC. We are also asking them to include documentation for all amounts due, not just up to the traditional 1,500 cap that we've operated under our PRC program. Our team will determine which amounts we can pay from which funding sources. Again, families' eligibility for the new PRC ERA program must have at least 1 minor child or a pregnant person in the household to qualify. We will be doing a full court press to get the word out to the community about this new program, as well as other rental assistance options in the coming days. That includes creating a toolkit with flyers, FAQs, and more that we will share with our contracted partners, the Human Services Chamber of Central Ohio, and our faith-based community. We will also be hosting a virtual lunch and learn session on Facebook Live next week as we strive to meet people where they are. Pending any questions, I request your approval.
Any questions or comments?
Commissioners,
Mr.
Joy Bivens, Deputy County Administrator of Health and Human Services. I do want to make mention that under this plan, extension is we're going to be meeting with the school districts so that we can assign a representative to each district so that as families pose housing is stable, they would have a direct contact with that person or that individual in order to gain access to the resources.
Thank you, Deputy County Administrator Bivens. And did I hear correctly that there's no cap on these dollars?
So yes, the cap is being removed. Traditionally, we allow up to 1,500 per family, but with these new dollars, that cap is being removed.
Thank you.
Commissioner, this is Kenneth Wilson, Administrator. I have one question for Assistant Director Turner. As we discussed in briefing, individuals, when they come in, residents, they won't have to do anything. Our case managers will be trained to draw down the appropriate funds.
Absolutely. They won't have, nothing will change for our residents. They will complete the same application. Our internal team will determine how much we can pay and what fund we pay those arrearages from. So nothing will change for the community.
Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no further questions or comments, I move approval of Resolution 42521.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 42521 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Public Facilities Management.
Resolution number 42621. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a contract agreement with Acoustic Ceiling and Partition of Ohio Incorporated to perform acoustical and drywall work activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center continuation Phase 2A in the amount of $4,525,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Darla Reardon, Director, Public Facilities Management. Also joining me today is COO Vivian Alexander. The resolutions for your consideration today are associated with the construction of the continuation phase of the new Franklin County Correction Center. The Correction Center construction project has an established small and emerging business enterprise SEBE aspirational goal of 12%. This project remains on track to exceed the aspirational goal with a SEBE commitment of 27.81%, approximately $77.8 million as of April 30th of this year. This first resolution awards a contract to Acoustic Ceiling and Partition of Ohio, Inc., ACP, to perform acoustical and drywall work activities such as metal framing, thermal insulation, gypsum board, and ceilings for the continuation phase. 2 bids were received and ACP was the low bidder. ACP is an established local firm and is signatory to Carpenters Local 200 and Painters Local 1275. Acoustic Ceiling and Partition is a veteran business enterprise, a VBE. So this contract includes 100% SEBE participation for about $4.5 million. 25 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak. Acoustic Ceiling and Partition of Ohio, Inc. has demonstrated it has the capacity and experience and ability to complete the required work. The project owner's representative, Pizzuti Solutions, and the project construction manager, Gilbane Smoot, are supportive of this contract award. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this contract agreement.
If there are no questions or comments, I move approval of Resolution 42621.
Excuse me. Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 42621 has been adopted. Resolution number 42721, resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a contract agreement with W.F. Bullen Company to perform painting activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center continuation Phase 2A in the amount of $1,376,200.
Good morning, Commissioners. Vivian Alexander, COO for Public Facilities Management. This resolution authorizes a contract agreement with W.F. Bullen Company, an established local firm, to perform painting activities, including interior, exterior painting, and wall coverings for the continuation phase of the new correction center. One bid was received. Bolin is a signatory to Painters Local 1275 in Columbus, and 10 jobs are anticipated to be created at peak. Bolin has committed to 12%, approximately $165,000 for diversity participation from one subcontractor on its SCBE utilization plan. W.F. Bolin Company has demonstrated it has the capacity, experience, and ability to complete the required work. The project owner's representative, Pizzuti Solutions, and the project construction manager, Gilbane Smoot, are supportive of this contract award. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this contract agreement.
There are no questions or comments. I move approval of Resolution 42721.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 42721 has been adopted.
Thank you, commissioners. Have a great day.
Thank you. Next, Human Resources.
Resolution number 42821, resolution authorizing a contract with Benefit Express Services to provide employee benefits administration services for the Franklin County Cooperative Health Improvement Program in the amount of $1,400,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Samantha Taylor, Employee Benefits Supervisor, Human Resources. Joining me this morning is Chris Wiley, Director of Partnerships with Benefit Express. This resolution authorizes a new contract with Benefit Express Services, LLC, for benefit administration services. Franklin County provides a comprehensive employee benefits program for members of the Franklin County Cooperative Health Improvement Program and requires a service partner to provide benefit administration services. Administration services support 4 critical areas: benefits administration, which is the annual and day-to-day enrollment transactions, COBRA administration, Affordable Care Act or ACA fulfillment, and flexible spending account administration. Upon completion of the evaluation process, Benefit Express was the highest ranked in a field of 5 proposers. Their solution and technology fulfilled the requirements of all 4 service areas. Throughout the evaluation process, Benefit Express demonstrated their understanding of the cooperative's unique needs, responsiveness, and flexibility to our requests. I would like to thank the Franklin County Purchasing Department, the Prosecuting Attorney's Office, Finley Consultants, and Adam Frumpkin, Franklin County Data Center CIO, for providing guidance and support throughout this evaluation, negotiation, and contracting process. The Data Board approved the contract on May 24th. The contract is effective June 1st, 2021, and there's an optional 33-month extension period. The not to exceed amount of the contract is $1.4 million. Pending any questions, I request approval of this resolution.
There are no comments or questions. I move approval of Resolution number 42821.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 42821 has been adopted.
Great, thank you. Next, purchasing.
Resolution number 42921, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $888,477.18.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tracy Matthew, Assistant Director, Purchasing. And joining me this morning is Marlise Wicker, Franklin County's Economic Equity Administrator in the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Commissioners, our resolution this week requests your approval of 61 purchase orders for which the County Auditor has pre-certified available funding. And Marlise will take you through the SCBE POs.
Good morning, thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. This week, we have 9 out of 21 eligible purchase orders for your review for award to 4 women enterprise businesses, 2 minority business enterprise, and 2 small and emerging business enterprise, and 1 disadvantaged business enterprise, which totals $104,235.79, which equates to 43% of the eligible PO value and 63% of the eligible purchase order dollar value. The following agencies have increased their supplier diversity of goods and services within Franklin County: Public Facilities Management, Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court, the Treasurer's Office, Coroner's Office, Franklin County Engineers, and Veterans Service Commission.
Pending any questions, Commissioners, we respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I will move approval of resolution 42921.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Tyler Lee.
I abstain.
Resolution number 42921 has been adopted with Commissioner Tyler Lee's noted abstention.
Thank you.
Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 43021, resolution authorizing the transfer of the operation and duties of the telecommunications program within the Department of Public Facilities Management to the Franklin County Data Center.
Good morning, Commissioners. Juan Torres, CIO for the Board of Commissioners. This resolution is to provide the County Administrator authority to enter into an MOU with the Franklin County Data Center for the transfer of Public Facilities Management Telecommunications Division. This consolidation of staff, resources, and technology will assist in the continued efforts to advance unified communications across the county to deliver services to the residents of Franklin County. The Office of Management and Budget, Public Facilities Management, Data Center, and the Board of Commissioners Human Resources outline the necessary steps to ensure a smooth transition. With me, I have Adam Frumpkin and Darla Reardon to answer any questions.
Seeing no questions or comments, I move approval of resolution 43021.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Sorry, I'm just going through this a little, read through this a little more. 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm looking for something here. So just real quick, so what does this actually mean? So what does this actually mean in terms of telecommunications going over? I mean, can you be a little more direct about that?
So currently, telecommunications lives, so there are 4 staff who report under Public Facilities Management. And over the past year, we have made significant upgrades to technology, and there's now a new demand for obviously video communications, voice communications, and chat communications. And so this will be transferring 4 staff from PFM into the data center to form a combined team, which will focus on expanding the services, really supporting staff who've been working remotely, but then also we've got a number of projects that cross both areas between PFM and the data center. And this would really streamline the process to expand telecom, which is now more network-based. Before it was pulling cables and punching down lines to get telephones. Now we're using a lot of
Yeah, one thing that's I figured that's kind of what you're going to give me, but I don't know how I missed this in briefing. Was this on in briefing?
Yes, sir.
Man, I must have been just doing something else. Here's my only issue here, and I don't want to belabor this. I'll vote for this resolution, but Administrator Wilson, I want to have a conversation after this. I'm not a fan of the whole data center setup. You know, and I know that's a legislative issue with the General Assembly that we need to discuss, but I'm just not a fan of that entire structure. Never have been. I've always tried to manage that since I've been a commissioner. And so I think I still feel like we need our own people, whether it's in PFM, BOC, or wherever, that are sort of quarterbacking or coordinating technology, telecommunications, whatever it is, versus the reliance on the data center, who I feel like often has a sort of independent prioritization of what goes on. And that's not a criticism of anyone, it's just how they're structured to me. So, you know, here we're kind of given more resource to them, it seems, right? We're given, we're taking the telecom folks that are in PFM and just basically moving that over into the data center, which I'm just not a fan of. I just, am I understand that's what we're doing, right? So those employees or those resources will now be reliable. I understand the alignment issue, but we're now, we're sort of, we don't have any independents or any coordinators in our own division. It would just be a full reliance upon the data center.
This is County Administrator. The duties for the data center, yes, President Boyce, the 4 FTEs will be forming a unit within the data center. But their duties and responsibilities are outlined in the memorandum of understanding. Therefore, the services that they provided will explicitly be directed by Franklin County administration to meet the needs of the users in the system. When you look at those duties that are outlined, so I'm
sorry, Minister. That's what I was trying to look for. I was trying to access the memo. That's exactly what I was trying to see, the actual memorandum of understanding versus and I just couldn't get it. So I was trying to read through the resolution and find it. Let me ask you this: is it and I'll take full responsibility for this, overlooking it in the briefing, but is it an issue to move to table this for a week? Or actually a couple weeks, because I won't be here next week. Actually, I will be here next week. Yeah, I'll be here next week. I'm thinking.
You got a couple of things going on here. One, there's already 2 votes been cast. 2, Commissioner Boyce, I don't disagree with you that the data. First of all, the current data center structure or current data center is probably as well run as any data center that I've been around in the last 20 years, 21 years that I've been, 20 and a half years that I've been in county government. That being said, you're not incorrect when you say that the data center structure is about as imperfect a structure as there is. But that is a creature of state government and the legislature. It's it is what it is. And the legislature is not going to change it anytime soon, if ever. County government, for that matter, I think you've heard me go on and on, for years about the fact that county government and the structure of county government's, strange to say the least, especially in Ohio. We're one of 2 states in the entire country that has this type of government, and it's antiquated and archaic. The data center and its structure are the same way. But I think that Adam Frumkin runs the data center as well as it's been run in the 20 years that I've been here. So, and I get where you're coming from, but I just don't see it changing anytime in our tenure here in county government. It's been this way for the entirety of my tenure here, and as I said, it's currently being run as better than it's been in the entire time that I've been in county government. I have a great deal of respect for Adam and the way that he runs the data center. And believe me, I'm sure that Administrator Wilson can say the same, that we've seen some pretty crazy things in our time out of the data center. So I get where you're coming from. I just think that not to mention the fact that we've already taken 2 votes here this morning. I'm not looking,
good point.
I'm not looking to change my vote.
Good point, and great points. I agree with you and everything you said about Adam Frumkin and those folks over there, and that the votes have been cast already. And so to keep the schedule moving, I'm going to vote no. So we'll just go that way. So good points, though.
That's fair.
Clerk, you can call the roll. You can call the resolution. Thank you.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Tyler Lee.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
No.
Resolution number 43021 has been adopted, with Commissioner Boyce voting nay. Resolution number 43121, Resolution authorizing the execution of separate sub-grant agreements by Franklin County Children's Services, Job and Family Services, and the Child Support Enforcement Agency with the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Cleric with the Office of Management and Budget. As stated in the title, this resolution would authorize the execution of separate sub-grant agreements in order for the county to receive funding from the state for federal pass-through dollars for state fiscal years 2022 and 2023. These sub-grant agreements are required prior to the start of each biennium for Children's Services, Job and Family Services, and the Child Support Enforcement Agency. Pending any questions, would ask for approval of this resolution.
If there are no questions or comments, I move approval of Resolution 43121.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 43121 has been adopted. Resolution number 43221, resolution authorizing the extension agreement for the Local Area 11 Memorandum of Understanding and Amendment number 1 to the subgrant agreement with the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services for the Workforce Development Board of Central Ohio.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Janis, Deputy Administrator. As the clerk mentioned, this resolution would authorize approval of two agreements. One is the extension agreement for one additional year of the founding memorandum of understanding, and the second is the First Amendment to the latest sub-agreement with the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services to allow for the use of additional new federal resources. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I move approval of Resolution 43221.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 43221 has been adopted. Commissioner, I have a journalization and then our last resolution under the BOC. I didn't know if at any point you'd like to take questions or not.
We can do that after journalizations.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have one from our friends in Economic Development and Planning. Please bear with me, Commissioners. Case number ANX-18-21, an expedited Type 2 annexation petition. ANX-18-21 was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on May 25th, 2021. The petition is requesting to annex 24.45 acres, more or less, from Mifflin Township to the city of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on June 29th, 2021. Sites: 2540 Agler Road, PID number 190-004800, 2544 Agler Road, PID number 190-004665, 2556 Agler Road, PID number 190-004666, pardon me, 2574 Agler Road, PID number 190-004667, 2598 Agler Road, PID number 190-004669, 2606 Agler Road, PID number 190-004670, 2861 Bridgeview Drive, PID number 190-004808, 2875 Bridgeview Drive, PID number 190-004809, 2634 Bridgeview Court, PID number 190-004817, an unnumbered parcel on Agler Road, PID numbers 190-000003 and 190-004672, an unnumbered parcel on Bridgeview Drive, PID numbers 190-004806, 190-004807, 190-004810, 190-004811, 190-004812, 190-004813, 190-004814, 190-004815, and last, an unnumbered parcel at Bridgeview Court, PID numbers 190-004816, 190-004819, and 190-004820.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions from members of the media before we go, before we move to adjourn and go into executive session? Okay, seeing that there are none, is there a motion?
Sorry, Commissioner, I need to read the resolution, sir.
Oh, okay, please do.
Resolution number 43321, resolution of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners to convene into executive session to consider the appointment of a public official.
I move to convene into executive session to consider the appointment of a public official.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Tyler Lee,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 43321 has been adopted. We are now in executive session at 10:35 a.m. For those of you going in, please just give me a few moments to get you moved over. For those of you that are not, you're more than welcome to stay in or drop off as you see fit. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.